Hi, my name is Oluwatoyosi Arogbokun, a Black female and a third-year medical student at University of Minnesota, and this is my elevated story. The thing that I would tell people that I wanted to be when I grew up was a teacher. I remember when I would play with my friends when we were younger, we'd play school, and I always liked being the teacher and trying to explain things to people and stuff like that. So for the longest time, my goal was to be a teacher or a professor at like a university. And even though that's not technically what I'm doing, I still feel like there's a lot of ways in which I can like be a teacher, be a mentor, or just be an educator as a whole, even within the medical field. So I feel like I'm still kind of getting to, I guess, live that dream in a way. Yeah, so I don't have anyone in my, well, immediate or extended family that is a physician, but growing up, my mom, after we moved to the US, she decided to pursue a second career, and that career was nursing. So essentially, since from when I was little all the way, I think even through high school, she was basically taking night classes to become a nurse. And a lot of times I would go with her to her classes, and that was my first exposure to, I think, the medical field and what it really entailed. And so that experience definitely stuck with me. But then going to college and being able to volunteer in a children's hospital, I got to also see the ways in which the doctors really impacted the patients' lives and really worked with them in order to get them back onto their path of well-being. So those were the main examples that really stuck with me and drove me to the field. It definitely had an impact on me in the sense that I truly didn't realize just how much it cost. I think I first realized when I was preparing to take the MCAT entrance exam, and even just realizing the cost of that exam, I think it was over $300. It really made me sit and think that, okay, if I want to do this field, I need to really sit and think seriously about it, because it's going to be a very big financial investment. And I want to make sure that I'm going into a field that I'm actually passionate about. So it was definitely daunting. And especially the medical school application process was also financially daunting. And that was the main reason why I chose to take some gap years in order to work for a bit and save up. But it's something that I think I underestimated and didn't realize until I got into the process. It's important because I remember very much in detail the very first time I had a physician of color, an underrepresented physician, wasn't until I think I went to the student clinic sometime in college, and the physician walked in, and he was a Black male, and it was my first time ever even seeing like a Black physician actually in practice. Up until then, I'd never had the opportunity to be treated by one. And I think in that instance, and just, as we're going through the history, it just felt like it was someone that I could relate to more and could be more just open in the way I shared things, rather than having to make sure I phrased things in a particular way so that it wasn't misconstrued. And so from that instance, it's definitely showed me not only the impacts that having a underrepresented physician or someone who looks like me in healthcare can have, but even just helps to ease my mind as a patient. So having had the opportunity to like volunteer in the community, not only in medical school, but even prior to medical school, I think I've really been able to see the impact that advocacy can have, especially for people whose voices aren't being heard, or who don't have the resources. And so I think within medicine, it's important to not simply just be a physician, but to be an advocate for patients when they come into the office, when we talk with them, and even just more broadly. So, participating in community organizations and other things to help really empower individuals and empower patients. That's something that definitely drives me and makes me want to become, I guess, a physician who can be that as well for their patients. Well, I want to thank you so much for this opportunity and for giving me the opportunity to not only continue pursue my dreams within medicine, but also continue to increase diversity and engagement for underrepresented individuals within healthcare. I'm so grateful, and I hope that as I continue throughout this journey, I can continue to show the ways in which this opportunity has opened new doors for me.